Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into some recent World Championship hockey action.
Yeah, that Canada versus France game. We've got the report here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the plan is really to, get beyond just the final score. What were the key moments? What really stood out?
Absolutely. It's about digging into what that game tells us about, well, both teams and where they're headed in the tournament.
Okay, so let's get right to it. The final score. Canada shuts out France 5-0.
Yeah, 5-0. That's pretty decisive in international play.
It really is. It suggests, well, quite a bit of control from Canada, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. A scoreline like that usually points to one team really driving the play, lots of sustained pressure.
And speaking of driving the play, Sidney Crosby. He notched his first goal of the tournament.
Ah, yes. And apparently quite the goal.
Oh, yeah. The report describes it as pure superstar skill, happened on a power play. He spun away from a defender, quick stick handle towards the net.
Classic Crosby.
Right. And then somehow finds this tiny gap on the French goalie for the shot.
Yeah.
Just clinical.
And, this is his first World Championship appearance since, 2015?
That's the one when they won gold. So him scoring a goal like that, it feels significant.
It really does. It's not just a goal. It's a statement. Shows he's engaged, and it definitely gives the team a boost, sends a message.
No doubt. And it wasn't just Crosby. Bo Horvat had a really strong game, too.
2 goals for Horvat, yeah.
Including the game winner, right?
Okay.
Back in the first period.
Crucial goal. Getting that early lead in these tournaments is just massive. It shifts the whole dynamic.
And that's 4 goals for him already in the tournament. He's really finding the net.
He is. It's great to see. Plus, you had Cuylle and Brandon Montour scoring as well.
Good point. Spreading the scoring around like that, it speaks to their depth, right?
Definitely. You need contributions from up and down the lineup in a tournament format.
So all this offense adds up to, well, a perfect start for Canada. 3 games, 3 regulation wins.
Tied at the top of Group A with Sweden. They're looking very strong early on.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
And you can't ignore the goaltending side of a 5-0 win.
Not at all. Jordan Binnington got the shutout for Canada.
How many saves?
15 saves on 15 shots. A perfect night for him.
15 saves. Okay, now contrast that. The French goalie, Julian Junca.
Right. Junca faced 36 shots, made 31 saves.
Wow, 36 shots. That tells a story right there, doesn't it?
It really paints a picture of the kind of pressure France was under defensively. He was kept extremely busy.
Yeah, you can almost feel the tilted ice just from those numbers. So what does this mean for France's tournament so far?
Well, it's clearly been a tough start. They've got just the 1 point from an overtime loss, plus these 2 regulation losses now.
So they'll need to find some answers, particularly offensively, it sounds like.
Yeah, generate more chances and maybe, find ways to relieve some of that defensive pressure they faced in this one.
Okay. And for Canada, looking ahead, they've got Austria next.
Yep, that game's on Wednesday. They'll obviously be looking to keep this momentum going.
How important is that, maintaining that kind of, winning feeling early in a short tournament?
Oh, it's huge. Confidence is everything. When you get a decisive win, key players contribute, goalie gets a shutout, it just builds belief. You want to keep that rolling.
Right. Creates a positive cycle. Okay, so let's quickly recap the main points from this deep dive. Canada grabs a dominant 5-0 win over France.
Yep, really commanding performance.
We saw Crosby get his first, a real highlight reel goal, showing he's back and making an impact.
Definitely a key moment, his return and that goal.
And Horvat continuing his hot streak with 2 goals. Plus, a shutout for Binnington. Canada's looking good, undefeated at the top of their group.
Exactly. Strong showing all around. And, thinking about Crosby, the impact of those veteran guys, the experienced leaders, in a tournament like this, it's often more than just the points they put up.
That's a great point. It's the presence, the experience in high-pressure moments.
Precisely. It can lift the whole team's level of play.
Okay, so that leads us to a final thought for you, our listeners. In a fast-paced, high-stakes tournament like the World's, how much weight does the skill and, maybe more importantly, the experience of a returning veteran like Sidney Crosby actually carry? Does this one, admittedly dominant game, give us a real forecast of Canada's potential path forward? Something to mull over.
Definitely food for thought.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.